Post tenebras lux, after darkness light, and back to the darkness we go. Anyway though, welcome to a brand new episode. This is going to be the sequel to Muslims on Twitter, and in today's episode we are going to be following, I guess you can call it, a little bit of a theme here, because in this video we are going to be talking about and looking at Muslims who deflect. These are the type of Muslims that do not help the Dawah's case in reverting me personally to Islam, because all they do is use slippery tactics to ignore Islam's problems and bring up Christianity instead, or dismiss great arguments used by Christian apologists by bringing up red herring or deflection tactics. They do not help at all because their arguments are built on a foundation of logical fallacies. So, same style as last time, I'll be going over some tweets by Muslims on Twitter, giving my thoughts and my refutations to their arguments against the Bible, while following this bit of a theme here. So, let's get started. So the first tweet we're going to be checking out is from Zakir Hussain, retweeted by Anan Rashid. Man, what a wombo combo of biblical distortions. Wow. I just had to say that right off the bat. Now the tweet shares a video and it's titled, Trinity in the Old Testament, and look who's in the thumbnail. Apparently it's Anthony Rogers, Sam Shimon, and David Wood, of course in drag. Quick side tangent here. You know, Muslims, whenever you show David Wood in drag, trying to mock David Wood, you do realize you're inadvertently shaming your own prophet, right? Because it's not like David just randomly one day decided to put on his wife's clothes. No, he's doing that to mock and show why he's a false prophet. So, yeah, I hope you realize that. Anyway, Anthony Rogers, Sam Shimon, and David Wood apparently going against William Lane Craig. This should be interesting. Let's check this out. Hopefully it debunks Anthony's arguments for the Trinity, along with Sam's. I'm very interested to see their counters because I've yet to see them. So here we go.
Sam Shimon and Anthony Rogers. If you don't like Sam because he's too mean, Anthony is much nicer, although Anthony's still kind of a jerk sometimes. But Anthony has a series. It's on my channel. You can find the playlist, but it's called The Trinity in the Old Testament. It was very common in Judaism to believe that there was some sort of plurality of persons within the one God. And their reasons for that were based on the Old Testament. The Trinity in the Old Testament, Genesis. God was revealing that he's multi-personal in the Old Testament. He gave the fuller revelation in the New Testament. Those who rejected him then tried to set themselves apart from that by entrenching themselves into a unipersonal theology.
Christian faith. It serves to distinguish Christianity from Judaism and Islam, which are both forms of Unitarianism. We believe that God is tri-personal rather than unipersonal. Abraham and Moses will be in heaven. They were saved, but they didn't believe the doctrine of the Trinity. They'd never heard of it.
We're coming at this question from two different sets of scripture or wholly inspired writings. And I would agree with Tovia that if you approach this question simply on the basis of the Hebrew Bible or what we would call the Old Testament, one wouldn't come to believe that God is a Trinity.
Yeah, that video proved nothing. I love the at the end, like there was some refuted. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I kind of like William Lane Craig, but you know who really doesn't? The Christians on Twitter who deal with Islam. So where's the logic in this? Out of all people to say that the Trinity isn't in the Old Testament, you pick William Lane Craig for a video made for Christians on Twitter who deal with Islam, when you know they kind of already don't like him. Some even espouse him as a heretic. So, yeah. I don't think they're as open to listen to him because they consider him a heretic. But as for Rabbi Tobias Singer, I think Anthony has actually dealt with his content before, so please actually deal with Anthony's arguments instead of just espousing your main argument to begin with. Also remember, guys, just giving somebody's opinion on scriptural interpretation is never a preferred argument to begin with. But at least if it's an expert, you can be like, well, you see all these experts believe in it, so what makes you right and them all wrong? But here, I don't even think William Lane Craig is really an expert. I mean, I think he knows a little bit about the Trinity in the Old Testament, and he may have certain counters, but I don't think he knows as much as Anthony on this topic. So, again, he may have certain responses to Anthony, but does he know Anthony's responses? Can he really go in-depth back and forth? I don't think so, based on what I've seen from his seminars and articles. Now, I want to conclude my response to this video by asking a very important question to the Dawah itself. Where are the response videos to Anthony, Sam, or William's arguments for the Trinity in the Old Testament? So you know what this means, guys? It means that if I'm just an open-minded Muslim just browsing around the internet and it just so happened to stumble across Anthony's channel, There's nobody who I can fall back on and say, well, they responded to Anthony, so I don't really have to worry about his arguments. No, that person doesn't exist. And what are these thumbnails? What are these thumbnails, dude? What the? Oh no, they're not. David's not part of the Lollipop Guild. Don't you know, guys? He's the Tin Man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That says enough about what those videos are like. Now I can already hear this counter in the back of my head. Below I see, what about some Unitarian response videos that I've seen? What about some Muslim articles that deal with these arguments? Well, the problem I see with them is that they appear to be surface level. What I mean by that is here the Muslim or Unitarian is presenting their main argument. The problem here is that Anthony pretty much will eventually get to responding to these arguments, inadvertently, not really directly responding to the article or video, but it'll eventually respond to these articles in his live streams, and the problem is the Muslims don't counter back. There's no in-depth back and forth. There's just counter and dip by the Muslim or Unitarian here. So, why would you expect me to accept their argument when I think Anthony is countered, and I've seen no Muslim counter to his response? But overall, yeah, that video was pretty bad. That video debunked none of our arguments. It didn't present many arguments. It was just pointless overall to make. But what do you expect from a video when it's made by Zakir Hussain, the same guy who tried to use John 1:1 against the Trinity? I'm not even joking. You can check out the Speaker's Corner clips. He actually does that. I'm not even joking. Now we have a tweet from the Ishmaelite Skeptic, and before we check it out, I just have to say one thing. My guy's kind of like a breath of fresh air. You other Muslims on Twitter need to follow his lead because he's actually likable and not unbearable like the other childlike Mohammedans on Twitter. But even if I find him enjoyable to convo with, I do have to say his channel is, well, not gold. Not at all, to put it mildly. But anyway, in his tweet he says, Trinitarians. Trinity is found in early church history, but it is also found in ancient Babylon as a pagan god. Okay, first off, hopefully he's not granting that the early apostolic church fathers actually believed in the Trinity because, yeah, I'm becoming a Muslim for 1.59 seconds, and my reaction to that would be, yeah, I don't want to grant that if I were a Muslim. But if he's not granting this would just be a red herring because he's deflecting and not actually dealing with the fact or the argument that the early apostolic church fathers believed in the Trinity. Now, I asked him which Babylonian pagan god, and I never got a response for some reason. He just liked my tweet. So because of that lack of an actual response, I am only left to assume that, sadly, Ishmaelite Skeptic is only getting this from, I don't know, many prophets one message, or another random Muslim YouTuber or blogger. He's just kind of taking their word for it and not actually doing his own individual research and fact-checking on the claims made by Muslims on the alleged connections between past pagan deities and the Trinity. I think he's just taking their word for it. Hopefully not, buddy. Hopefully you've actually done your own research. But I think if he has done his own research, he'd realize that all their claims are bogus. So hopefully he does his own research. Alright, guys, what's next? He did it. He took the one bit of respect I had for him left and crushed it. Crushed it in the little tiny bite-sized pieces. I really expected better of you. But I guess I'm a loser for that too. Don't even try to bother evangelizing to people anymore. I'll just tell them you went to the enemy. And by the way, and I know this is a bit off topic, but just to get a feel of this guy, I commented on one of Dale Tuggy's TikTok videos where he said that, the early church didn't believe in the Trinity, and I said, watch William Albrecht. And you know what he responded with? Lol, no, not a scholar. Yeah. Dale Tuggy, mister, I only absorb what scholars say, except when they disagree with me, like the beginning of Mark proving the deity of Christ. No, but I find this to be a massive bit of irony, because you know how Muslims always complain, oh man, the Trinity is so confusing. Sajid Lipton, and he's like, wow, look at Anthony Rogers, he has to use all this confusing and complicated philosophy in order to respond to Sheikh Umar. The truth, it should be simple. It should be simple for everybody to understand. Yeah, they get on these Unitarians, and as Trinitarian debate reviewers and commenters have beautifully pointed out, Unitarian theology really doesn't make any sense at all. So, when the UCA says, leave behind the confusion, that could be more ironic. Next up, we have a tweet from Jihadi Jesus. Yeah, Jesus was a Muslim. If I had enough money, I would put, 6 billboards around Shekufman's sign so nobody could see it, and my billboard would say Jesus is Lord and use Bible passages to prove it. Is that legal? I don't think it is. If anybody knows that it is, that you can, if you have enough money, you can just engulf other billboards, let me know, please. Anyway, though, in this tweet, Jihadi Jesus says, Christianity loses more than 66 million of believers every year. Hypocrite Muslims keep leaving Islam, and sincere Western people join Islam. Islam gains 3.2 million believers every year. Yeah, no, we don't lose 66 million Christians a year. Our global growth rate as of 2021, according to Christian Trend Watchers, is 1.18 a year. This is a projected amount we will lose by 2050. Next, the gap is shrinking between Islam and Christianity's growth because the main factor, birth rates, is going down in the Islamic world, which is the main reason why Islam was growing so fast in the first place. Not really because you guys were amazing people with the evidence. No, it's because of your birth rates. No, but back to this projection. This chart isn't perfect in determining how many Christians there will be by 2050 because it assumes the current trends will continue. Also, I don't think it estimates future conversion rates, so it's not really taking that into consideration here. Plus, what does he mean by sincere Western Muslims? The West is you guys' problem. That's definitely not where Islam is really thriving. Plus, yeah, I wouldn't exactly call the majority of Western Muslims sincere, if you know what I mean. I believe wholeheartedly that Muslims in Islamic majority nations definitely follow Islam better than these Western Muslims ever could dream. Yeah, when I think of Western Muslims, I think of the random girl who becomes a Muslim for odd or trendy reasons, or the bruh who gets duped by Sheikh Uthman. Muslims in Islamic majority nations, yeah, definitely following their traditions better. So, in conclusion, Jihadi Jesus, no, I don't believe we would lose 66 million followers a year if the other beliefs actually played fair. Not the cults we see with Mormonism and Jehovah's Witnesses, not families outcasting other family members, and the 99-1 rule we see in the Islamic world. Actual nations not allowing Christianity to spread like at all. You know who you are. Or just people being more open to religion in the West. If we saw that, yeah, we're definitely not losing 66 million followers a year. In fact, we're going to grow. We're going to grow a lot. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want a part 3, make sure to leave a like. And also make sure to check out the Unitarian Twitter account. I'll leave his link in the description below. He's actually how I found out that Del Tuggy had a TikTok. And I think you should check him out because his arguments against the Trinity are so bad. I mean, look at this. He's posting like Facebook memes. I think they're so bad that it should strengthen your faith in your Trinitarianism. So, good luck out there in the thread trenches. Peace out, guys.